Okay, so we're gonna start, I'll give you the F tonic track and you guys can play along. This is number 1 and I'll count us off and we'll just keep pulse, all right? Here we go, you mute yourselves. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. And try and hold that last note kind of a while. You want to make sure you get a chance. Like with every tonic, every resolution we have or cadence, it's a chance to latch on to that tonic track. That's a triad at the end. The root of the triad is constant F. That's what I want to play along with F. All those intervals are based off that relationship. You could actually B flat as well, frankly. And you'll hear those intervals slightly differently if you do. Good. Let's look at number 2. Remember 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3 slides out about 1 centimeter for 1 and 3. You can always cross-check that. The G against the 1 and 3 false partial, and the F sharp against the 1 and 2 and 3 partial about 2 centimeters off the slide. So good technique. This is going to be the whole process. Good steps in, makes good steps out. So this is number 2 and time note tonic reference track because we're changing pitch as we go. You guys are muted. Lots of air. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. All right, and I always like to cross-check that last note. Again, it's a cadence note, a rival note. It makes it a structural note. Structural notes need to be locked. Structural notes, like structural parts of a building, the foundation needs to be strong. We'll always take time in the end of the cadence to let that wash over us and make micro adjustments. We always want to start and finish strong all the time. Start and finish strong. 3 is up. Again, just a quick reminder for our new members, and actually vets as well. We're all standing for this. Remember to check your posture, that the shoulders are down, the horn angle is up. And if you're comfortable marking time, veterans, you remember the routine. For new members, we do a technique where we kind of step forward on a new phrase and then back into the mark time position for the others. You don't have to worry about that yet. Heidi and Sean have already started creating a couple of videos for you. You'll get more on some marching fundamentals, but the reality is we're going to do very little, if any, marching this year. I just want you to be aware of it as a component of what we do. We're not going to march, we're not going to move our feet when we're in a standstill performance. And if we do anything together, it'll be standstill, almost certainly. But it's good to know the process just for future reference. All right, this is number 3. I'll play the middle trumpet line. Mellows, again, you're 4th below where we start. We're picking up right where we left off, the last note that we ended with. And ascending, okay, from there, lots of air. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, a couple of quick notes on that I want us to think about. These are really, really important notes. Number one, when I get to the bottom of the register, the lowest note in that series, I'm really filling that out. You also notice I do a slight pivot, I'm dropping that down. So listen, I'm going to pause on that last phrase a second. I mentioned this before, that low B flat for me in the trumpet voice. So I'm taking that really full, rich sound at the bottom of a register and I'm bringing it to the top. It's a steady stream of air. Do not think like ha, 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 ha. It's not, this is not belly rib compressions that we do with articulations. This is a steady stream shaping the air along the wave. Like think of like surfing a wave of water. You're surfing the air stream up for the higher notes, down for the lower notes. Point number one, that's point number, and point number two, you've got to play a full quarter at the end of each phrase, finishing strong. So I've got this, listen to this. Okay, da ha ya ha, da, playing to the release, stretching to the release is critically important. Okay, so we're going to always do full value, and this is a good process for us to get used to because all of our phrases have to finish together. You've got to sustain all the way release. In many cases, we crescendo release. When we get to end of shorties, we have a phrase we use all the time: a lock, lift, release. So I get to the that's a lock, lift, release at the end of that line. Almost all those shorties end with 2 counts. You lock the pitch and balance, lift as an ensemble, release on 3. So please get used to that, pay particular attention to it, be vigilant about it, it's really important. All righty, Rooney. So that's quickie through warm-ups. If you only do 3 exercises, those are the 3 you ought to do for warm-up. That gets you from nothing to something pretty quickly, okay? So we have three objectives this evening. The first one is Mars. The second one is Sean Maximus. And then the third one for trumpets is trumpet dances, mellows. We're doubling up here. You guys are going to do the Let Me Clear Your Throat version as well. So I'm going to take them in that order. So let's take a quick look at Mars. Trumpets, again, you're sustaining. So your job's relatively easy with this. And you can just, you can cue it up. Mellows are going to come back to you in a second. But for trumpets, your phrase is going to be, you've either got the bottom F, the C in the middle, or the top F. So I would start by sustaining before you do the rhythm and just think about that and listening. Okay. Now, here's the challenge with that. The challenge with that voicing for the trumpets is the G on the staff for us, the concert F is pretty good. The D above that, the concert C, is a low note. It's going to be lift up. So as I'm going from the bottom to top, da, D, I'm conscious about lifting. Okay, so you see me do that a lot. I'll tell you, like, kind of lift, you know, raise the eyebrows. That reminds you, the syllable inside your mouth is if the, you know, like a marionette, the eyebrows connected to the tongue, da, D, D-E-E syllable, and kind of turn those corners up like that, you know, villain mustache kind of thing. Da, D gets that pitch and tune. Contrast that with trumpet 1, the G above the staff is a wicked sharp note. You have to sit on that one. Here's the great thing about that. You get to roll down the lower lip. You can try to even go below it if you want, and that gives us a better sound in addition to doing giving better pitch. You get this? Okay, so when I get to that, and I'm going to be articulating, that's like my ballpark. So this is the nuts and bolts of it before we record. Can I play that thing in tune on sustain? Then, of course, I'm adding wrinkles as I add, you know, articulations and phrasing to it. Here's a style on this one. It's do-do-do-da, da, 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 do-do-do-da, da, 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 da. That's your phrasing. The triplets are long, always tuned long. The quarters are long, always long. It's the eighth notes, the separate eighth notes that are puff notes. So I've got this in my phrasing. Okay, and that's the top note, but no matter what the phrasing is, that's your voice responsibility. Mellows, so trumpets, take a quick look at that. In fact, trumpets, you can mute yourselves. If you want to get ahead in the recording process now, I work with mellows. Trumpets, you can do that. Trumpets, you're going to be recording at tempos 144, and your tonic track on this is F, okay? tempo is 144. Tonic track is F. You do not need to do repeat, just one time through is totally fine. Okay, this is shorty number 5 for those of you keeping track at home. Pay attention to the phrasing I gave you. Do, 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 da, da, dot, dot, da. Tempo is 144. Tonic track is F. Mellows, let's take a look at yours. Your challenge is going to be, so trumpets are recording now, okay? Mellows. Your challenge is going to be the changing pitches in there. And again, I can do the same thing with my reference track, playing these notes. And I got to change horns, but I'm going to give us an F track as well. So Mellows, I'm going right after it. C is relatively straightforward for you. Way out there, Mellows. Okay. So Mellows, that before you record, please go through, tune, pay particular attention to the A flats and the D flats in that series. Make sure they're in tune. Same thing. 144 is your tempo. F is your reference track. Any questions? One time through, no repeats. Go, go, gadget legs. Looks like most of us have got it. Okay, I'm going to move on because we want to get through it. The next one plus the other two for your respective sections. So the next one's new to everybody. Okay, this one is number 6. Sean Maximus. You guys haven't played this one yet. I gave you the reference recording. It's really important that you guys hang on to the pulse and pitch on this one as well. So stylistically, this is a very kind of a forward track. It's kind of a lot of it's kind of got a lot of darkness to it. So big sound out of the gate. I'm gonna play part of the trumpet line first. Okay, it's short and we don't need to do a repeat on it. One time through, actually, I may have you guys do this with a repeat, just so I can get 2 options, and also we get the set because the repeat's slightly different. So the first thing you're going to do, everybody, is you're going to tune intervals. So you're going to right off the bat, you're going to start to look. There's a lot of chromaticism in here, and I want to make sure if I'm going to just go through by part, trumpets, I'll go down the line. Then Mel's going to do the same thing for you. I'm looking for notes, especially with chromaticism, and I'm going to tune those. Okay. So for example. That's going to be lift up the E flat trumpets. A flat also lift up. Drop down, trumpet 1. Those are your pitch tendencies right there. E flat up, G down, trumpet 2. Can we drop just slightly? Find that one. Or you got a divisi there, trumpet 2. Figure out who's playing what. Thirds. And then the triplet thirds. This goes to everybody who has triplets. Every time you guys have triplets in any ensemble that you're going to be in with me on triplets and sixteenths, the first of each grouping of triplets or sixteenths is always what, Audrey?
Isn't it longer?
Yes, it is longer. Very good. longer, a little bit of weight, a little bit of lean to it, okay? Every time you have a group of 16s or triplets, first one's slightly longer, especially in here. It's not just, we can't make mute sound, right, without any acknowledgement of what the thing is. A triplet, just a rhythmic triplet, a dot, 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 dot is not it, especially in pieces like this. Dot, 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 dot. Really exaggerate that, lean on it, sink your teeth into that thing, bite that note. It's gonna be like intense, okay? Mellows, you have a scream and triplet line with the same interpretation. So trumpets, mute yourselves, you can mute me if you want. Pitch check first, then go through and record it with repeat. Trumpets do this with repeat, please. And the only last point I'm going to make for trumpets is to make sure you have fast valves on ba-da-da-da, dot, da-da-da-da. Those eighths are separate. Before you mute me, let me play that intro one more time for style, because that's important. These eighth notes, the marcato notes, are puff notes. Here are the first three parts of trumpet. Now, before I get to mellows, it sounds like this. That's really important, trumpets, that style. Second trumpets. Pound the valves. Third trumpets. That's your rhythm. D, dot, 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 triple a D, dot, 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 triple a D. Okay? Pounding the valves. All right, trumpets. Go record, please. Mellows. I want to draw your attention to this because this is the same thing I was telling you about that interpretation. It's not a particularly difficult line, but you do want to check pitches. But the interpretation on triplets is so important. We lean that first one. And I'm leaning on this is slurred to the down to the second measure there, but I'm still leaning on it as if I were to tongue it. So dot 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 dot. Mellows, that's really important. Then mellows, we're also going to do the same pitch check I asked for the trumpets. I'll put the tonic on, and we'll just take a quick look at those. So this is back to the B flat. All right, mellows. I'm going to take this in turn after the triplet phrase. D flat and G flats. D flat, slide out. I'm adjusting right off the bat. I know my pitch tendencies. Some of these they're not new or problem notes for us, okay? Going on, mellows. So pitch check first, mellows, and I really want you to take some risks, mellows. Take some risks on leaning on that first triplet. Dot, 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 dot. Stretch it longer than it's right to be. Dot, 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 dot. Okay? Pitch check first, then in time, same style, mellows, as the trumpets. Record with repeat. Go. This is in 3 at 84. 1, 2, 3, 3. Tempo is 84, B flat in 3. Looks like trumpets are mostly done. Just as a quick reminder for trumpets, again, even the 16th triplet, it's got to be stretched. D, dot, 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 da, 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 dee. Stretch that out. Trumpets, if you're done and you can hear me, start looking at trumpet dance, please. It's shorty number 31. Trumpets, if you got a good recording on Sean Maximus, look at 31. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick comment before we go on to the next thing. I have trumpets looking at 31, but listen please for a second before you record something else. Stylistically, I want to emphasize one point, and I'm just basing it off of things I could see from valves or hear even within my house. The style on number 6, Sean Maximus, is really important. Those puff notes that I was talking to you about a while ago, those are compressions here. Watch. See that? Please make sure you guys are paying attention here. This is all compression, especially for new people. This is not about the tongue. I'm separately compressing each of those notes with a gentle tongue. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two, taking my time on the triplets, pounding the vowels. I'm gonna do it this way so you can see. Trumpets, just play that phrase with me on a repeat. I'll give you one, breathe, breathe. Trumpets, just play your introductory phrase, your notes on a repeat with me. 1, 2, 3, 1, breathe, breathe. Just on a repeat. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, that's it. Style, you'll find very quickly for our new members, and veterans know this, the interpretation is everything in making great music. It's not about just making noise. We're all about making music, okay? Good. With that in mind, mellows, take a look at, please, the shorty I wrote for you, arranged that, let me clear my throat. Trumpets, you're looking at trumpet dance. We'll start with trumpets first.
Number 31, right, Dave?
Yep, 31, yep. Okay, trumpets. I'm gonna share the screen. I put the tracks down. When Matthew said he wanted to do this one, I just, I dumped some tracks in GarageBand. So, and we can, in live time, put this together tonight, which is pretty cool. This will be with a repeat. I'm going to share my screen so you can see this and you get a sense of what we're going to do with it, okay? So this is, all right, you're seeing the GarageBand now, hopefully. And I just did 2 of each part. Just give a little balance, and I'll play it first. This is Matthew's arrangement. All I did is reharmonize it just for high brass, so it sounds complete without anybody else. Let's see. So we're going to do that with a repeat. But again, I talked about the style with 6. The style is really important in here. Keep in mind, it's a subtle thing, but the moving eighth notes are actually not all staccato. They're tenuto. You've got that da, do, dee, da, 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 do, do, da, do, do, da, dee, I, I, da, dee, I, I. It repeats. Da, do, dee, da, 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 do, do, dee, do, do, da, da, dee, I, da. I'm going to have you tap sing with me. Go to the moving line, skip the introduction for now, just start tapping on the da, do, dee, da, da, tap and sing your part with me with repeat, okay? For new members, a tap sing is a Jackson tap sing. It's like a strong tap sing. I don't want gentle like this. I want you to know, this should be right here, choosing your right hand, basically over where your heart would be, and where our center of pulse normally, and we're gonna tap sing. Okay, so we're picking up from, what measure is this in the phrase? 5th measure, I guess, something like 5, yeah. Okay, right on 5 with repeat, okay? I'm gonna sing, and when I give da, that's that separate breath compression, do, dee are long notes, okay? Here we go, 1 from 5 with repeat, 2, 1, 2, and tap and sing, and da, do, dee, da, 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 do, do, dee, do, do, da, da, dee, I, da, da, dee, I, da, do, dee, da, 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 do, do, dee, do, do, da, da, dee, I, da, da, dee, I, da. See that lock, lift, release at the end I've taught you guys about? Da, lock, lift, release. So other than the introduction, stylistically, that's it. If you want to record this in 2 pieces, the intro first and then from 5 on, that's okay as well. This is a concert G reference track. Tempo is 124. So in GarageBand, in fact, you can select, I didn't do this, but you can select under here, that's not the one. You can select your key. So I had put this in before I adjusted it. So now if I do it, it wants to pitch correct to something else. But you can select in here G, and that'll be fine. It's minor, okay? So if you want to do that, that'll be fine. And it's obviously it's in 4, and our tempo is 124. And you import your tonic track, which is your G tonic track. If you were late to the Zoom tonight, I had emailed it to you. So the G tonic track is in your email. All right, if you didn't already have it. So G tonic track goes in first, and then 124, concert, G minor, you're playing, okay? I would also take a second to tune the notes in your introduction. So the way I would do that is you just play through the tonic track. Okay, you just do one at a time. Make sure you're in the ballpark, and then off you go. If you want to do the introduction separate and then tag along. Oh, by the way, if you do that, you don't have to send me 2 files. You just hit pause in the recording, and then you can resume with the recording in the same space. It'll be one file that has both. I can splice them, all right? If you want to do them with a pause between the intro and the actual shorty itself, that's totally fine. Any questions on this one? This will be with repeat. Are there any questions before trumpets have you go and do this? Okay, so here's the thing, trumpets. As you do it, this would be kind of fun, especially if you do it without interruption. If you want to email to me, I'll dump a few of them in, just like we did last week. I'll dump a few of them in, and we can kind of hear in live time, sync it all together. All right? Okay, so again, if you and save it as a WAV file and send it to me, and if you're able to get it to me, you know, before the end of the session, I'll dump it. We can hear it in live time. Here's the thing, trumpets. 2 things actually. One, you got to get it to me tonight if you want it to be in the final mix track that I give back to you for your intro video, the 1-minute intro video. I'll extend it out to make it closer to a minute, and then you have to decide how you want to present it. That's up to you guys. If you want to do, someone has got to help with the video editing. Is there kind of a story that sets it up? Is it playful? Is it whatever? But that's the second half of this process, and I need to have the finished video next Friday so we can present it at the orientation on Saturday. So I'll get the music together for you, but you have to come up with a concept for what you want in the video that puts it together in a minute. And I'll help you with that too, actually, if you need it, but just start streamlining that process. Okay, trumpets, go. Mellows, ready? Mellows, take a look at, let me clear my throat. Trumpets, you're muted and recording. All right, mellows, I'm gonna pull up the file I created here. And this is E flat for us mellows, okay? All right, first thing I do is check pitch. Okay, that's the top mellow part out of the gate. That's the style. D, da, do, da, 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 dee, da, da. Okay, and you guys stay in time. I've put that in there. Don't rush the tempo. Don't rush the tempo. Stay in time. You really got to keep those in time, mellows. I didn't give you a pulse on this. 112. 112 mellows is your pulse. Okay, so the key, your reference track is E flat, and your tempo is 112, and you're in 4. If you're setting this up in GarageBand, E flat. And do you guys all have E flat? Catherine, did you send it to them, or do you need me to do it?
I haven't sent it yet, but I can send it, or if you have it up right now. That
Okay.
might be easier.
Yep. Okay.
Or I can also pull it up right now.
Okay, good. So that is out to you, Mello. So pull that one up, and I'll just play part of it as you're getting set with all those pieces in GarageBand. I'm gonna kind of turn this over because I'm a makeshift stand over here. So I'm going back to my reference track because I always have to keep track of where I am with my pitch. Okay, right out of the gate, mellows. Right out of the gate, mellows. I have between for the top first and second parts, and I gave you 3. C, D flat to D. I got to have that slide pulled way out from my C flat and in for the D. So I've got those 3 notes on. See that, mellows? Okay, and I've also held the tempo back so it doesn't rush. That's right out of the gate, okay? Bottom part, mellow, split divisi. Start it. That D's wicked sharp, mellows. Okay? stay in a B flat. Those are your last three. All right, that gets us to the introduction. Then part B mellows. And then the bottom. Those are two parts. Got it? So know those. That's the phrasing. It's do dot do dot. Okay. So no other real pitfalls in that other than that. So the style at the beginning is D do D dot da 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 D dot da 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 da. I got to hold those back. Then the B section is D do dot D do dot D do dot D do dot. Lock, lift, release at the end of that phrase. Okay, good. And that's a crash course in this, mellows, but I want to try to get a head start in that as well. Any questions on the style on that one? Ben, Heidi, Catherine, okay. All right, why don't you guys take a quick run at that? And mellows, I know we just kind of come up with this quickly. Catherine just discussed this, and Heidi and I very recently, but let's try a run of that one, and I can also create a background track if we need to as well. So you guys do a quick check on that. Trumpets, as you're ready, if you have your files done, start emailing them to me, please. Okay, good. I got a couple so far.
Dave, I think I sent you an email with the subject line Sean Maximus, but that also has the trumpet dance too.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you very much, Zachary. Put it back up. And I'm going to show you how to do some quick edits too for everybody if they're necessary. So I'll take a quick listen I have so far here. I'll take my channel track off. Okay, I'm going to line that up a little bit. Okay, that's going to work. Just quick notes on that one. And we'll leave this as is. On those tenutos, you want there to be one steady stream on. Do 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 dot do 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 do. So we could be a little longer, but this will still work. Good. All right, and that's just a couple that I put in without any edits at all, and I'll show you how to do some of those as we go. Let's take a quick look at everyone else has sent me. All right, I got Zachary and Jackson. Let's see here. And you'll see that, you know, even with the metronomes we go through this, it can be challenging to keep the phrases in time. That's okay. We can make those adjustments in GarageBand. Okay. All right, good. I'm going to go with this for now. I'm just going to show you how I put this together and how you guys could do it together as well in GarageBand. And if you could do some of these preliminary edits, it would be wonderful. So here I am back in GarageBand, and I get the tracks at the top I already showed you, and then I'm just put in some of these, okay? So I think this might be
The one that says new is me.
Zachary, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so Zachary's here, and I'm lining them up. Now, here's the thing, everybody. Look at the top. See this? If you guys can see these are measures and then beats within a measure. We selected 4, so it's 4 beats in a measure. So I'm looking for waves, half note, half note, half note, half note, whole note, downbeat. See that aligns with what I have here. That's what I want to see as I go through this. And I'll just go by pulse. So that's what I was hooking up. I got a little squishy down with the others. But let me just play. So I'll play the 4 parts I just got. Okay? I'm going to start right on the beginning of it. Okay, it's not bad. All right, that's really rough. Now, here's how we can clean it. And this is something you guys can do when you get the recordings to me. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I want the downbeats to start on downbeats. I'm using this gradient here, right? So this is starting a little bit late. I can move this a bit forward, and I see I'm still okay for the next half note that happens. but then I'm a little bit behind by the time to get to the beginning of this next whole note, the next measure, okay? So I've got choices to make. I can move this forward, but see that here's my choice. I've got a structural note here. That's beat 3, or the downbeat rather of the second full measure playing. That's on a downbeat, but this one will be late. So how do I fix that? I go here, I go Command T, or I can go right up to Edit, Split Regions of Playhead. Make sure you guys see this, please. Edit, Split Regions of Playhead, and then I can move this forward, and all of a sudden, this half note will be in time now, and that will also be in time. Okay, and this is closer to being in time. So there's little ways I can do that. I want these to line up. This is okay. This is a little bit behind, which this is behind. This is behind. I can move the whole thing forward just slightly. I want these right on the beat. See what I'm doing? Just tweaking. That's what you guys are going to do as well. This is now behind. Move this up a teeny bit. I can't get too far ahead of myself. That's speaking late, but it's going to creep up on this one. Here's the difficult part. I'm going to show you something here. This is more advanced, but I want you to see it. I can split on a sustain. If I have a sustain that's too long, I can split that sustain, and then I can kind of compress it. But I have to watch out when I do that. I got to come in close and make sure that I'm aligning these waves, these sound waves, as much as possible. So I take it and I superimpose it like a puzzle. Bang, there. See that? It kind of comes, it's not on right there. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I've synced it when it's close to flat line, if possible. I don't want to sync it on like one of the peaks or valleys in the sound wave. That's pretty decent, okay? I don't want to sync it when it's one of these things. I'm getting somewhat advanced, but we're going to have to do that this year to be able to keep on track and play these things, get out, fairly quickly. Same thing here. This sustain's a little bit long. You can compress that because we're starting to lose time, and you can hear that. And then sometimes we don't realize we have the click in our ear, but we don't hear it. This is an easier fix because I can do it between the space. I split it, I move it up. Okay? So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Now, just a quick, and in the last minute we have, and Mel's going to have you submit your tracks, and I'll get back to you with recordings on it. But I can go back now and I can listen to, I'll do the background ones, and then the new recordings. I'm selecting this as what I listen to. I select them, and we'll take a quick listen. Good. Just watch your release at the end there. Someone's a little long. Might have been you, Jackson. Can't tell. Off on 3. All right, and that could be another edit. I pull it back just slightly, but that, or actually, it might have been Zachary. I can't tell. I think it might be Zachary. Okay, so just
Throwing
watch
under
that.
the bus.
Yeah, that was me.
That's okay. It's good sound. Okay, but you guys see, this is cool. I mean, this is like, you don't have to be pros at this, but I mean, I just familiarize myself in the same time frame you guys have all been doing recordings, and it's amazing what we're going to be able to do. We're going to send this stuff off to the audio engineer is going to mix it with all sorts of kind of cool dance techno beats. So, but it's got to be good. Quality in equals quality out. So keep sending those files to me. As soon as I get everyone's files in here, I'll send it back to you guys. You have to come up with what you want to do with your whatever your format's going to be for your video. So, and if you want help with that, let me know. But you're going to have to, at least get the groundwork happening ahead of time on that. Try and get it done by Wednesday. Let's give a couple days for editing and cleaning. Make sure we're happy with it before we submit it on Friday. All right. Good. Any questions on the shorties we went through tonight or the recording process so far? All right. That's really, really great stuff, guys. Really, really great work. So we have a week. Next week is a week off. And keep playing, obviously. If you want to tweak some of your recordings and resubmit, some of you have been doing that, that's totally fine. I just replace it as it comes in. That's a beautiful thing. It's in the file. I update it as we need to. Shorties 1 through 6 are really more teaching shorties for us. Now, like trumpet dance and Let Me Clear My Throat, these are things that are going to be your contributions and your media that you share, and the same files we also send on to our audio producer for the dance mixes. So we're going to be prioritizing those as we go through camp as well. Camp will start on the 22nd. Orientation will be for everybody at noon. We'll have more information that comes out with you shortly. And of course, I'm still accessible between now and then. So if you have questions or you want help with something, just let me know. But I'm really impressed. I mean, this is a really quick learning curve for so many things that are, changing parameters all around us, but we're continuing to do great work. And I'm really thrilled that we have so many great new members as well. So I'll hang out if anybody else wants to kind of catch up or ask questions on things. Otherwise, keep the submissions coming. I'll put them in and get them right back to you as audio files, and I will talk with you soon. Cool. All right. Great job, guys.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank
Dave.
you.
Thank you.